All right, from the Daily Wire, ex-porn star Mia Khalifa says serving in the U.S. military worse than selling body online. Ooh. This one comes to us by way of Amanda Prestigiacomo. Okay, I got it. Let me just preface this and say, Italians, when Donald Trump said "Make America Great Again," he meant before you fuckers arrived. That was more of a comment, really. Here's the thing. The Italians, I don't know what the deal is, but I assume you're all mob affiliated. I've been watching a lot of Michael. I don't know if you guys know this Michael Francis guy, Michael Francis. He was a made man. He was part of the Colombo crime family, one of the 5 families in New York. And so I've been deep diving on the mob lately. And so every time I read an Italian name, I think, mafia. So Amanda Prestigiacomo of the dailywire.com, you mafiosa. You filthy mobster. I assume. And maybe making assumptions makes an ass out of me and you. Maybe that's true. But do I care? No, not at all. So Amanda writes, former porn star Mia Khalifa said that serving in the U.S. military is, quote, worse than someone selling their body online. Khalifa, who uses a pseudonym for privacy, worked in the adult film business for 3 months. That's it. After her departure, she blasted the industry for being too exploitative. Though the 29-year-old is currently on OnlyFans, a subscription site known for hosting so-called sex workers. So-called sex workers. Why is that why are we alleging this? Why is it like, oh, they're so-called sex workers? Well, I mean, do they sell their body online? Seems like the sex worker phrase would fit for that. Anywho, going on. Quote, so we have OnlyFans, and then we have the sex work industry, and then we have, like, actors. Is there a difference between these industries, or are we all fundamentally selling our bodies in some way? Late night show host Zoe Fumudo asked the former porn star for an episode of Z-Way that originally aired on May 29th. By the way, guys, I'm recording this on July 22nd, so I don't know why they're writing about it a month and a half later. But anyway, honestly, this is Mia. Honestly, I think that selling your body, like if we're going by that definition, being in the army is worse than being on OnlyFans, Khalifa responded. You're selling your body to the government. Wow. Fumudo replied. Wow. Unilad reported on the clip resurfacing this week. It resurfaced, guys. It was underwater and then it came back out. And the slew of reactions it received online, including some agreement. Alternatively, some folks blasted Khalifa for comparing those who risk their lives to protect our freedoms with people performing in sex videos. All right. It's the second time in this article they've talked about her blasting or being blasted. Are we doing phrasing anymore, people? Do we care about phrasing? One person, service to our country is not shameful. One person shot back. Again, a lot of blasting, a lot of shooting. Okay. Quote, at least in the army, you do something for society, another comment read. Yeah, killing Iraqis, I guess. The ex-porn star in 2020 warned young people to stay away from the industry. Quote, those 11 videos will haunt me until I die, and I don't want another girl to go through that because no one should, Khalifa said via Instagram, according to her Inside Hook. Quote, women are haunted by the decisions they made years ago, another post said, but they weren't their decisions. Don't support other vulnerable women from getting exploited just because they need money for rent. Khalifa also tweeted that she'd rather return any money from porn that continued to have videos live online. Quote, I'd rather have it removed than take a dime from that bag. I was offered millions to return for one video and it felt violated all over again. But the sheer audacity that they thought my body was contingent on the right price. Years after I started speaking out against industry practices, she wrote. Please, please, please think about this if you're considering the sex industry. She wrote in another tweet, they will make it impossible to rectify your regrets should you have them in the future. Khalifa now makes $10,000 per day on OnlyFans, she says. Her page is described as safe for work, but spicy. It's unclear what type of content is on the page. All right, let's unpack that. First and foremost, blasting, shooting. Is there no other way to say these things? Why is it like you might as well just say that she shot ropes at somebody? You know, like why? I feel like either Amanda and the editor here are being a little, they're not aware of the innuendo, which is this is possible. It's the Daily Wire. Or they're tapping into that while also judging it, which is just kind of annoying. Anywho, let's unpack her argument. It's not a deep argument. Her argument is that the army, if you're selling your body, being in the army is worse than being on OnlyFans because you're selling your body to the government. As a libertarian, I actually have a hard time disagreeing with that. I'll be honest. I really do. Now, if we were to break it down, the army, you will get certain benefits. You might get a VA loan to buy a house. You get a lower interest rate than the rest of the knuckleheads out there trying to get a house right now. That's cool. You'll get health care. That's cool. You don't get health care in porn. And I would say in the army, you get a higher base pay. You go in, you're going to make a certain amount of money, whereas in porn, maybe not so much. As it pertains to porn, though, porn has a higher return. If you do hit it in porn, you will become a multimillionaire. Most people in the army don't make millions of dollars unless they're doing some side shit that they shouldn't be doing. But yeah, I don't know. There's a cost benefit analysis here. I think her point is up for debate. In the military, people generally respect that more than porn. That being said, if you're in porn, a lot of dudes do respect that. They do. They may judge you, but they also like you. So it's sort of a double-edged sword. The risk with porn is that you will get a creepy stalker who tries to kill you and have sex with your dead body in his basement. So there's that. But the risk if you go in the army is that you go overseas and you step on a mine or an IED or a sniper takes you out, or, you just leave with mental issues and you witness horrific shit that you live with for the rest of your life. There's really, again, cost benefit. I don't know what is the right answer to this. I don't think that what she's saying is way off base. That would be my analysis. I don't think that what she's saying is way off base. No pun intended to the military folks living on a base. Or porn stars going past third base. Ignore the base. I think that here's the thing. If you decide to do porn, everybody you went to high school with, college with, whatever, your family, it's pretty well unavoidable that they're going to find out. It's going to be seen. There's going to be some of them that are going to judge the fuck out of you. There's going to be some of them that are going to love it and they're going to be big fans of it. Selfishly, I wish every female I knew did porn, but I know that's not good for them. I know porn is not good for people. It's not a good industry. It's not something you'd want your daughter in, not something you want your sister in. You certainly wouldn't want your girlfriend or your wife in that. So we know that's not good, but if my wife were in Iraq, I don't know if that would be much better, I don't know if that'd be better. I think what fundamentally comes down to it is that at least in Iraq, it's not all on film. You don't have it's not all being live streamed. So if you see some horrific shit, you see like bodies burning and children dying, or you cradle your best friend's head on your lap after he stepped on IED, and you got to live with that shit for the rest of your life, undoubtedly. But it's not on Pornhub, So you don't have to live with that. So that's cool. Whereas in porn, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So which one's better? Which one's worse? I think it's up for debate. Send me your comments. Tell me your thoughts, guys. If you have a comment, if you have an opinion, if you have some input, send it to me. I got a link tree. You can email me there, and you let me know. Just let me know. Let them know. If I'm off base here, or if I'm not, you can click on the link through my Twitter at 7th Evan. You can let me know. I don't know. I think there's a debate here. Now, if you're, a janitor in the Navy, then maybe I would say that's better than doing porn. See, for me, it's combat. Combat is the difference. Combat is, if you're in combat, that's worse, quote unquote, than if you're in porn. Maybe not worse, but it's in the ballpark. But if you are, not doing shit with war, you're just doing, you're walking around you're cleaning the base up with a broom, or you're maybe you're droning people from a nice air-conditioned office. I think that might be better than porn. I would say that's probably better than porn. But I don't think that she's out of pocket here. As the kids say, I don't think she's out of pocket. Okay. I gotta take another little sippy poo. All right. So we're gonna go to the next story, guys. And like I've already said, I'm gonna give you another trigger warning. That if you thought that was bad, if you thought that first story was bad. By the way, before I get into that, she only did porn for 3 months. That's insane. This is a woman. You don't have to watch porn to know who Mia Khalifa is. You don't. If you're aware of the social sphere, she's out there. So it's kind of crazy that she did porn for 3 months and she's parlayed that into a whole other thing. And then she's getting $10,000 a month on her OnlyFans, which, by the way, let me just say something about this author who was talking about shooting and blasting and all that. And first off, I'm kind of hung up on that whole so-called sex workers for only why is everything, if you don't agree with it, why is it always alleged? Allegedly, this you see it a lot, and I have to shit on the conservative media for doing this, because every time a comedian says something, they go, oh, this supposedly funny guy, and I'm like, well, he's selling out theaters, making a lot of people laugh. Even if you don't like, I get it. People do that with Jimmy Kimmel. They go, oh, supposedly funny. And I'm like, listen, I get if you don't like Jimmy Kimmel. That's fair. I don't watch his show, but there's a reason he's on TV. And it's not because he just could fog a mirror, it's because he was able to make enough people entertained that somebody in Hollywood gave him a big contract to do this 5 nights a week. So can we stop accusing the people that we don't like of not being what they are? These so-called sex workers. I mean, if you're selling your body on OnlyFans, I don't know of a better phrase. That's just me. And then the other part where she closes here, where Miss Amanda Prestigiacomo, Amanda Prestigiacomo, she closes with this. She's saying Khalifa makes now about $10,000 per day on OnlyFans. She says her page is described as safe for work but spicy. It's unclear what type of content is on the page. You could have signed up. You could have paid the $20 or whatever for the month, and then you could have done this is what she posts, let me tell you. But instead, we're left. It's unclear. It's not to her subscribers, not to her paid subscribers. It's not unclear, right? Why is this you wrote the 500 words on the subject? Why not? Why is it it's just a mystery what she does on there? But it's for supposed sex workers. So who's to say? if she's not in porn and it says that it's safe for work but spicy, I presume that she's not doing porn on there. That would be my first intuition. If I were to subscribe, I'd be, she might have, I don't know. She could have any number. She could be just, a lot of times believe it or not, there are people who use OnlyFans for their what they're basically using it for what Twitter used to be, which was I'm just going to say whatever the fuck I want and no one can cancel me. And maybe they post some pictures in, bikinis or whatever, but it's not a lot of it says safe for work, but spicy. So I can presume she's not doing porn. That's my presumption. Anywho,